Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Mark Wahlberg, A Life of Reinvention, Discipline, and Hollywood Success. Mark Wahlberg, born Mark Robert Michael Wahlberg on June 5, 1971, in Boston, Massachusetts, is one of Hollywood's most versatile and driven figures. Actor, producer, entrepreneur, former rapper, husband, and father, his life is a remarkable journey of transformation. From a troubled adolescence to becoming one of the highest-paid stars in the film industry, Wahlberg's story is rooted in resilience, ambition, and reinvention. Early years in life before fame. Wahlberg grew up in a large working-class family as the youngest of 9 children. His early life was turbulent. His parents separated during his childhood, and by his early teens, he dropped out of school and became embroiled in crime, street violence, and drug use. At 16, after being charged with assault, he served time in a correctional facility. This experience marked a turning point. Wahlberg resolved to change his life, and with guidance from his brother Donnie, he began to pursue a new direction, first through music, then through modeling, and eventually through film. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. In the early 1990s, Wahlberg entered the music scene as Marky Mark, the frontman of the hip-hop group Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Their debut album produced hits such as Good Vibrations and Wild Side, making him a household name. His physique and charisma led to an iconic modeling campaign for Calvin Klein, further boosting his visibility. Though his music career was short-lived, it created the bridge that led him into acting. Breakthrough in Hollywood. Wahlberg's film debut came in the mid-1990s, but his breakthrough role arrived in Boogie Nights, 1997, where he portrayed a rising adult film star. The film earned critical acclaim and proved that he could take on complex, daring characters. From there, Wahlberg built a career defined by versatility. The Perfect Storm, 2000, showcased him in a dramatic true story disaster film. The Italian Job, 2003, reaffirmed his status as a bankable action star. The Departed, 2006, earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. The Fighter, 2010, displayed his commitment and emotional range in a gripping boxing drama. Ted, 2012, and its sequel highlighted his comedic talent. His later roles in films like Lone Survivor, Deepwater Horizon, and various Transformers installments emphasized his strength in large-scale action cinema. Even in the 2020s, Wahlberg remains active, starring in action thrillers, dramas, and family-oriented films, maintaining his position as one of Hollywood's most consistent performers. Behind the camera, producer and businessman. Beyond acting, Wahlberg has become a highly successful producer. He served as executive producer for major series such as Entourage, Boardwalk Empire, Ballers. His work in production contributed to the success of several long-running, award-winning television shows. Wahlberg is also a savvy businessman. He co-founded the global restaurant chain Wahlburgers, along with his brothers Donnie and Paul. Additionally, he has invested in fitness brands, beverages, automotive ventures, and wellness companies. His disciplined lifestyle, including a famously intense daily routine, has made him a public figure associated with hard work and self-improvement. Personal life. Wahlberg married model Rhea Durham in 2009. Together they have 4 children. Family plays a central role in his life, and he has often credited fatherhood and faith for grounding him and motivating him to be better than his past. Despite a celebrated career, he carries the lessons of his early life with him. He has repeatedly spoken about the value of redemption, responsibility, and change, using his story as an example of how one can rise from hardship. A legacy of transformation. Mark Wahlberg's rise from a troubled teenager to a global film star and successful entrepreneur is one of entertainment's most compelling modern stories. His career continues to evolve, shaped by relentless discipline, ambition, and a drive to exceed expectations, both his own and Hollywood's. He stands as proof that one's past does not have to define their future, and that with focus and determination, reinvention is always possible. Mark Wahlberg. A deeper look at his life, career, and influence. Mark Wahlberg's evolution from a troubled Boston youth to an international entertainment figure is not merely a story of fame, it is a study in discipline, transformation, and relentless ambition. To understand his enduring presence in film and business, it is important to explore the full scope of his development, his artistic identity, and the principles that guide his work. Early adversity and the road to redemption. Wahlberg's early life presented challenges that could have derailed his future entirely. Growing up in Dorchester, a rough neighborhood in Boston, he was exposed to violence, instability, and the pressures of street life. His teenage years involved addiction, confrontations with the law, and a lack of direction. His time in a correctional facility, though short, became his defining moment. He later described it as the turning point that forced him to reflect on his actions and to consider a different path. This desire for change eventually led him toward health, discipline, and creative expression. The transformation did not happen overnight, it demanded humility, effort, and a willingness to leave old habits behind. This period of reinvention remains one of the most compelling chapters of his life, shaping the man he would become. From Marky Mark to Hollywood prospect, Wahlberg's entrance into the public eye through music was unexpected, but it provided the visibility he needed. His energetic stage persona, combined with his striking physical presence, made him a star. The success of his early music career, particularly the hit "Good Vibrations," established him as a charismatic performer with commercial appeal. Modeling campaigns later elevated his fame. Calvin Klein's advertisements featuring Wahlberg became cultural touchstones of the 1990s, solidifying his image as a confident, athletic figure. Still, despite the notoriety, he was determined to build a more substantive artistic career. Establishing himself as a serious actor, his transition from music to acting was met with skepticism at first. Yet Wahlberg quickly proved that he possessed genuine talent and emotional depth. Early roles: his supporting role in The Basketball Diaries revealed his ability to portray tough, conflicted characters. He blended physical intensity with emotional authenticity, traits that would become trademarks of his work. The turning point, Boogie Nights was a revelation. Wahlberg embraced a challenging role that demanded vulnerability, raw emotion, and boldness. Critics took notice, and he became recognized as an actor capable of carrying a dramatic narrative. A versatile filmography. Wahlberg's subsequent roles displayed his range. In Three Kings, he balanced satire with sentiment. In The Perfect Storm, he played a relatable working-class hero. In The Departed, he delivered one of his most memorable performances, sharp, explosive, and darkly humorous. In The Fighter, he portrayed boxer Mickey Ward with discipline and restraint, earning the film widespread acclaim. In Lone Survivor and Deepwater Horizon, he anchored true-life dramas with emotional weight. In Ted, he showed impeccable comedic timing, proving he could succeed in any genre. His ability to move between intense dramas, action blockbusters, and light-hearted comedies has made him one of Hollywood's most reliable leading men. The business mind behind the actor Wahlberg's successes extend well beyond cinema. He has cultivated a reputation as a sharp, forward-thinking entrepreneur. Television production: he has served as executive producer for several acclaimed series, including Entourage, loosely based on his early Hollywood experiences. Boardwalk Empire, a historical crime drama. Ballers, exploring the world of professional sports. These projects demonstrate his instinct for storytelling and audience appeal. Wahlburgers and Beyond with his brothers. He co-founded the restaurant chain Wahlburgers, which has expanded across several countries. The venture includes not only restaurants but also a reality series documenting the family business. He has also invested in wellness brands, car dealerships, fitness companies, and nutritional products. His entrepreneurial ventures align with his public image: disciplined, health-focused, and tireless in pursuit of success. Discipline, faith, and personal priorities. Wahlberg's personal life is marked by structure and devotion. Known for his strict early morning routine, he incorporates prayer, exercise, family time, and work into a highly regimented schedule. His Catholic faith plays an important role in his life, guiding his values and decisions. He and his wife, Rhea Durham, maintain a stable family environment for their 4 children. Wahlberg has frequently spoken about the importance of fatherhood and how his past experiences inspire him to be present, responsible, and supportive. Public perception and legacy. Though Wahlberg's early controversies remain part of his history, his decades-long commitment to growth has reshaped how he is viewed. Today, he is respected not only for his achievements but for the honesty with which he acknowledges his past. His legacy is multifaceted. A model of personal reinvention, a successful actor across genres, a businessman with diverse interests, a producer with a strong instinct for audience-driven content, a figure associated with discipline, faith, and responsibility. More than 3 decades after his debut, he remains a prominent figure in global entertainment, continually expanding his influence both on and off the screen. Mark Wahlberg. The relentless rise of an American icon. Mark Wahlberg's story is one of the most dramatic transformations in modern entertainment. From a street-tough teenager in Boston to an internationally recognized actor, producer, and entrepreneur, Wahlberg embodies the themes of reinvention and relentless drive. His life, career, and personal discipline have made him not only a Hollywood success but a symbol of how personal change is possible, even against great odds. A rough start in Boston. Wahlberg was born into a large Irish-American family in Boston's Dorchester neighborhood. Life in Dorchester during the 1970s and 1980s was harsh, and Wahlberg was exposed to street crime, violence, and substance abuse at an early age. By the time he was a young teenager, he had dropped out of school and was caught in a cycle of drugs, assaults, and gang-related trouble. At age 16, Wahlberg's downward spiral reached a breaking point when he was charged with a serious assault. He served time in a correctional facility, a pivotal moment that forced him to confront the consequences of his actions. In interviews throughout his life, Wahlberg has described this period as the moment he decided to take control of his future. From street kid to Marky Mark, after his release, Wahlberg reconnected with his older brother, Donnie Wahlberg, who was achieving huge success as a member of New Kids on the Block. Donnie encouraged Mark to pursue music, and helped him find a path out of street life. This led to the formation of Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, a hip-hop group that gained enormous attention thanks to Wahlberg's energetic stage presence and athletic physique. Their debut single, Good Vibrations, became a #1 hit and established Wahlberg as a pop culture sensation. His physique caught the attention of the fashion world, and he became one of the most recognizable faces of Calvin Klein's underwear campaigns, billboards, magazines, television ads, cementing him as a rising celebrity far beyond the music industry. Breaking into Hollywood, though music and modeling brought him fame, Wahlberg's ambitions were larger. He transitioned into acting in the mid-1990s. But it wasn't until Boogie Nights, 1997, that he captured Hollywood's full attention.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.